Hey, Ray.
Yeah?
Come here.
Hey there, NetBest Boys, and welcome back to the channel. As always, I'm Ray, this is Foxy, and today we're going to be looking at Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I believe, came out last weekend? But I didn't get a chance to go see it until today, around like 10:30 in the morning, which, a lot of fun. I love going to see morning movies, because you go in, and then you get out, and you got the whole day ahead of you. This is Tarantino's 9th movie. I don't remember how he's counting them anymore. Is Kill Bill 1 movie or 2? I don't know. But either way, really good. I really enjoyed it. I'm not a huge Tarantino fan by any stretch, but I like some of his movies, and I really liked this one. But while I have you here at the beginning of the video, definitely go down and subscribe so you can stay up to date with all the videos that I do put out. And the question this time around is, of all of Tarantino's movies, which is your favorite? I gotta say, I love Kill Bill Volume 1, I love Inglourious Bastards, and this might be up there as one of my favorites, if not my favorite. You going? Alright. Just gonna chill right there. But yeah, let me know down in the comments down here, which one is yours? Rick Dalton is a TV actor in the golden age of Hollywood, along with his best friend and stuntman Cliff Booth, as they come to terms with the world changing around them. Also, it's a little bit about the Manson murders. Starting off, I will say that the trailer did not really give away all that much. It gave you just enough to understand kind of what's going on, but I really did think we were getting a completely different movie than the one that we did get. Leonardo DiCaprio as Rick Dalton and Brad Pitt as Cliff Booth were phenomenal. They were so good. I really loved the stories that involved both of them, and also their individual stories throughout the movie. It's kind of like a day in the life of scenario, which was really cool. Kind of engrossing too. And I thought their chemistry when they are sharing the scenes together was fantastic. They have a really great bromance going on, if you know what I'm saying. Margot Robbie was fantastic as Sharon Tate, and although she's not in the movie as much as I would like her to be, she really shines in the moments that she is on screen, and plays a pretty important role in the events of the film. Aside from the main actors, there are so many other famous actors in this movie. It's too many to even keep track. I mean, there's Al Pacino in there, you got Kurt Russell, you've got Luke Perry's in there as I believe his final film appearance, which is kind of sad. But there's also actors I didn't realize would be in there, such as Damian Lewis and Emile Hirsch and even Maya Hawke. The movie is pretty long. It's about 3 hours, but you kind of forget that about halfway through, I think. At least I did, because you really do start to get immersed in the day-to-day life of these characters. So I do know that it's kind of a style to linger on some shots and to have scenes in the movie that would otherwise be trimmed or completely cut, but I think that's what differentiates Tarantino from a lot of other directors. I don't know why I paused there. I really struggled with that word, apparently. And it's definitely got a Tarantino feel to the movie, and I really enjoy that, even if I don't agree with all the things that are kept in the film. I absolutely would have trimmed or cut certain things. But that's just me, and I don't direct movies, and he does, so I guess he's right. One of the things I do wish was kind of trimmed down was the Lancer movie, which is the Western that DiCaprio's Dalton is filming within this movie. It takes up a really big portion of time, and about like, I don't know how long, it feels like it took forever, but like maybe 20 minutes into the movie sequence, I was kind of like bored a little bit because I'm not big on Westerns. But right when I was about to get to that point where I was really bored, or just kind of bored in general, because I was a little invested, Dalton forgets one of his lines and does like the cliche thing of just saying line and someone reading it to him, and then he kind of stumbles from there. So that was really enjoyable to somehow get immersed into the movie within the movie, even though I don't really like that genre, and then completely forget that there's actually another overarching movie going on. It was pretty cool. The shots with him in the trailer for that movie, also great. I think some of them are actually in the trailer for the movie. Like when he's freaking out at himself, I thought that was great. So I think the character of Charlie Manson is in the movie for probably less than 5 minutes. He, in particular, isn't in the movie much, but his followers are in the movie, and their scenes are pretty intense because you know the type of people that they are and what they do in, real life. speaking of intense, the action in this movie, when it's on screen, because it's surprisingly like sparingly used throughout the film, really good. There's a scene where Brad Pitt's trying to get one of the Manson followers to change his tire, and he has to beat him a little bit. And the way that they shot and edited specifically the sound for that particular scene with the punches makes it seem like Brad Pitt's like superhuman strength, which is really cool. Like, there's so much weight behind his punches in that scene. There's also the really funny sequence where Brad Pitt is fighting Bruce Lee, and I really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. I love the manslaughter joke. That's great. Last thing I want to touch on is I really loved the last 20 minutes of this movie. It's classic Tarantino with the ratcheted up gore and violence at the end, but it's fun to watch in a weird way. It's enjoyable, at least for me. It's pretty funny at parts because they're not kind of just beating up, characters in the movie. They're beating up these monsters that were people in the real world that did terrible things, so you don't really feel sympathy for them. And it's such an escalation with how ridiculous some of it gets. Like, I think there's like a half-open dog can that gets thrown, and then there may or may not be a prop from an earlier sequence in the movie that's used just out of nowhere, and it makes no sense that it's there, but it's hysterical. And it was really cool to watch. Like, I love hyper-violence in some situations, and this doesn't feel out of place in a way, and it feels merited, because these aren't people that I feel pity for or any sort of emotional connection to, because they're monsters in the real world. I think I did like a complete roundabout explaining that, but that's how I feel about that part. And also, the last scene of the movie for me was pretty sad, but also really heartwarming and beautiful in a way. And I really like that, and I don't want to spoil it for you, but it was a really great way to end this movie. In the end, I am still processing what I saw earlier today, and the more I think about the overall film, the more I think I'm falling in love with it, and despite some of the stylistic shots that I don't quite agree with, overall, I gotta say, I did really enjoy this movie. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood gets an 8 out of 10. Like I said earlier, it is a pretty long movie, but I definitely do think it's at least worth one viewing. If you really like it, clearly go see it more. But apparently there's a 4-hour cut of this film, and I gotta say, I wouldn't be opposed to watching that. So that's my review for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I finally did get to see it. Like I said, I think it's been out for like a week at this point, at least. Like I said at the beginning of the video, definitely go down and subscribe so you can stay updated with all the videos that I do put out. Give the video a like, share with a movie-loving friend, and let me know down in the comments, again down here, which Tarantino movie is your favorite. Thanks for watching, everybody. See ya. Down you go. Now back to Dark Souls 2.